Hey guys, so I'm here today with 8 different palettes that I'm going to do really quick reviews on for you guys. I think all of these palettes would make really great gifts for any of the ladies in your lives, including mothers, sisters, wives, and girlfriends. In my description box below, I have posted links to all of these items. If you click on the link and you find that the item is sold out, you can always try to find it in stock at a Sephora store. If Sephora is out of it as well, which they might be, I've had trouble finding some of these things this close to Christmas. You can always message me on Twitter, and I have put a link below in my description box to my Twitter page as well, or you can leave a comment on here. I do know of other places that sell these products, but I am going to put the link where I think you would be able to find it easiest and fastest. I do know there are other options though, so if you have trouble finding any of these items, please let me know and I will try to help you find it. The first palette I'm going to talk about would make a great stocking stuffer. I have actually used this palette in one of my videos. Because it is so small, it is a great on-the-go palette. She could throw it down in her purse and take it anywhere with her. It is not big, it is not bulky, it will not take up a lot of space. It is easy to carry around. This is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This palette is exactly what it says it is. It is a very basic palette. These are the colors in the palette. You have 6 eyeshadows in this palette. 5 of them are matte shades. And for all you boys out there who have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about and think I'm speaking a different language, matte just means that there are no shimmer or shine in the shades. If it is a shimmery shade, then it has shimmer. But there are 6 shades in this palette. 5 are matte. This is the only shimmery shade. It is great for highlighting on the brow bone. You have your neutral shades here, and then you have a black here on the very end. So you can use any of these shades here, these first 5 shades, to create a very basic look. If you want to smoke the look up a little bit, you have the black. You are able to do that. So in this little bitty basic palette, you can create a wide variety of looks. This is a great palette if you are shopping for a beginner. This is a great learning palette for somebody like that. Sticking with Urban Decay, we are going to move on to the Naked palettes. Urban Decay has 3 Naked palettes. I only have the Naked 1 and the Naked 2 palette. I do not have the Naked 3 palette. I know that you can get that palette online at Sephora.com. I also believe that the palette was released in the store just in the last couple days, so you may be able to find it there. This is the Urban Decay Naked 1 palette. It just pops open like this. This has 12 eyeshadow shades in it. It has your more browns and pink colors down here, your coppery shades here in the middle, and then your smoky shades down here. You can create a wide variety of looks with this palette as well, just because it has what you need for a basic eye and what you need for a smoky eye. The only complaint I have about this palette is that there are only 2 matte shades, and that is Naked and Buck. I really wish there were more matte shades in this palette, just because I like to use matte shades in my crease and I like to put shades there that will help other shades blend out, but there are not many options for that in this palette. This palette also comes with a flat shader brush. I don't really care for this brush. It is too big for the types of looks that I like to do, but any basic look this brush would be great for. Anybody who's just starting to learn how to use makeup would love this brush. This is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. It opens the exact same way as the Urban Decay Naked 1 palette. I tend to reach for this palette way more than I do the Naked 1 palette, just because I like the shades in it better. The browns are more coppery and gold and rosy, and I like that a lot better. The Naked 1 I feel is very mud brown. This is set up the exact same way as the Naked 1 palette. You have your more neutral shades down here, and then they tend to get more smoky as you go down towards the end of the palette. You can use this palette to create any type of look. There are only 2 matte shades in this palette as well, and I do not like the matte shades in this palette. The matte shade in the Naked 1 palette I wish was in this palette. It would make this palette perfect. I tend to pull out my Naked 1 palette for that shade to put in my crease to blend, and then I finish my eye off with different colors from this palette. This palette also comes with a brush, and I like this brush a lot better than I do in the one from the Naked 1 palette. On one end you have the flat shader brush, on the other end you have the fluffy dome brush to use in the crease of the eye. The Naked 3 palette, which I do not have, is more of a rosy gold than brown. The Naked 1 and Naked 2 tend to be more brown and earth tone. The Naked 3 palette is more rosy and more gold. It's very different from the Naked 1 and Naked 2 palette that I just showed you. I think that that palette also comes with a brush, but I'm not sure. I wish I had it to show you guys, but I don't, and I'm so sorry about that. Moving on, but still with Urban Decay, I'm going to show you the Urban Decay Vice palette. This palette is actually discontinued, but Urban Decay does have a Vice 2 palette out right now. It is very similar to the one that I am about to show you. If there are any girls out there who are daredevils and like to wear a lot of color on their face and not so much browns and neutrals, the Vice palette would be the palette for them, and that is because there is not one color that is not in this palette. You have greens, you have blues, you have pinks, you have purples, you have lime greens, you have your pinks and browns and neutrals down here. You have everything in this palette that you would need for any type of look. The only thing that I do not like about this palette is I love neutrals. There are not many neutral shades in this palette. I have not used this palette a lot, and that's just because I don't really like the neutral shades in it, and then I don't wear a lot of color on my face, so I'm not going to use this green or this blue or this pink. I mean, that's the only thing that I don't like about this palette. But there are girls out there who do like color on their face, and if they do, this is the palette for them. Go out and get them the Urban Decay Vice 2 palette. It would be perfect, and it also has way more neutral shades in it than this palette. It is way more balanced between neutral shades and colors than this palette is. I actually want the Vice 2 palette. I feel like I would have a use for it. This one I just really feel like I don't have a use for, but for any of those daredevils out there, this is a great palette. This palette also comes with a brush. It comes with a flat shader brush on one end and then the fluffy dome on the other end to use in the crease. Next, we're going to move on to one of my favorite palettes of all time, and that is a palette by Lorac, or Lorac. I'm not really sure how you say it, and I'm not really sure what this palette is called either, but this is what it looks like. It has a black leathery case, and it just opens like this. And this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, I have used this color down to the bare minimum. This one is not too far away, but I love this palette. The shades are so pretty, especially on girls with blue eyes. If you are shopping for somebody with blue eyes, this is the palette to get them. It is gorgeous on girls with blue eyes. It just makes their blue eyes just pop and stand out. It's just gorgeous. I have used this on a lot of brides with blue eyes, and it's just, I love it. But anyways, if you have no makeup skill whatsoever, these shades are so velvety that they just blend themselves. I'm not even joking. They blend themselves. This palette also comes with an eyeshadow primer, and you would just put this on before your eyeshadow as a base, and this will just help your eyeshadow stick to your eyes all day, and it helps it from creasing. I have no complaints on this palette whatsoever. The next palette we're going to talk about is another Lorac palette. This palette is called the Lorac Pro Pallette, and this is a very slim and slender palette. It just pops open like this, and you have all these shades in it. The top row is all matte shades. The bottom row is all shimmery shades. And I'll try to let you all see this a little bit more close up. But I really don't ever reach for this palette. I don't know why. I have experimented with it, and I'm not a fan of the colors. But again, the texture of these eyeshadows are amazing. They just blend themselves. This is not one of my favorite palettes. A lot of girls like this palette though. There are a lot of options in this palette. You can't go wrong with it. if you buy it for your mom or your sister or your wife or your girlfriend, she's gonna love it, I promise. And what if she doesn't? She can take it back. She can get something that she does like. So next I'm going to talk about a newer palette of mine that I am in love with. It probably doesn't help that I just watched The Sound of Music with Carrie Underwood in it, and they sing that song about a few of my favorite things because, this palette's called A Few of My Favorite Things, and a bunch of the colors in this palette are named after lines in that song. I just gotta take it out. I gotta show you. I love this. This is probably, of all the palettes that I'm showing, the best deal for your money. So you open it, this is what you pull out. This nice little makeup bag, chevron print. What girl doesn't like chevrons? Chevron's very in these days. Unzip it. Oh, looky there. You get this nice palette, and then you just open it like this. Bam! Look at all those possibilities. The possibilities with this palette are endless. You can create any look in the world that you want to with this palette. You have, I think, 20 eyeshadows up here, and then you have 2 blushes and 2 bronzers, and then it comes with this little booklet over here that shows you different ways to create looks. It's kind of like a makeup how-to guide. But anyways, can we talk about the names of the colors in this palette? Okay. Whiskers on Kittens, Cream Colored Ponies, Crisp Apple Strudel, Blue Satin Sashes. These are all lines from the song in The Sound of Music, the song A Few of My Favorite Things. Raindrops on Roses, Melt into Spring. Those are all names from that song, and I'm just in awe over this. I love this. I love that they did that they called this palette A Few of My Favorite Things and then named the shades, things from that song. I don't know what I'm even saying right now. I just love this palette. You need to get this palette. For whoever you're shopping for, I don't care who she is, she needs this palette. Not only do you get all of that, but you get a little mini mascara. It's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And to be honest, I am not in love with this mascara. I really don't even like it at all. I use it when I wear false lashes because I don't like the way it looks, and I'm going to be putting false lashes on. So it really doesn't matter if my mascara looks good. That's what I use it for. But you also get this little lip gloss. And the lip gloss is called Bee Sting, which is also a line from this song, A Few of My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music. And then you get this makeup bag. I mean, all of this for $56. Are you kidding me? 20 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, 2 bronzers, super cute makeup bag, a super cute neutral colored lip gloss, and a mascara for $56. You can't beat it. You can't. And I'm telling you, if you can find this at Sephora or Sephora.com, you need to get this. I mean, this is the best gift ever. She will die. She will love you forever. I promise. The last palette that I'm going to talk about, I haven't even got to try yet. I just got it yesterday, but I am so in love with it already. It is a palette of neutral shades, and I feel like when you go to look for a palette of neutral shades, they all pretty much look the same, but these neutral shades are different. The neutral shades in it are absolutely perfect for any skin tone, any eye color. I am in love with this palette. This is the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. When you open it up, you have an entire row of shimmery shades, and then you have an entire row of matte shades. These colors are gorgeous. I don't know if you can really see the colors, but look at that shimmer in this palette. It's just amazing. These colors are beautiful. You can create any look with this palette. You can create endless neutral looks. There are so many of them. And then you have your matte black down here for a matte smoky look, and then you have your shimmery black up here for a shimmery smoky look. You can even mix the shimmers and the mattes. I am in love with this palette. It's gorgeous. It's even more gorgeous in person than it is on camera, and it is still gorgeous on camera. I'm in love, obsessed with this palette. I can't wait to try it. It also comes with this double-ended brush. The fluffy, this would be great for the lid. There's a white side and a black side to it. And then you have this fluffier brush on the other end that would be great for in the crease. This palette also comes with Smashbox's Full Exposure Mascara. I actually tried this mascara today and I don't really care for it, but whatever. I didn't buy it for that. I bought it because the colors in this palette are amazing. Amazing. I give this palette a 10 out of 10. No complaints. I mean, I know I haven't tried the palette yet, but there's nothing wrong with this palette. Trust me, it's gorgeous. It's going to be gorgeous on. So, if you saw a palette that you liked, but you kind of want to expand on it for your mother or your sister or your wife or your girlfriend, and maybe get her some makeup brushes to put it on with, I promise makeup brushes make a huge difference in the way that your makeup looks and the way that it blends together. I cannot imagine putting my makeup on without makeup brushes. There is a great website out there for great quality makeup brushes at great prices. You can buy the brushes single or you can buy them in sets, and that website is sigmabeauty.com. I do not have any of their brushes, but I have heard nothing but great things about them on YouTube. You can also go to makeupgeek.com, and they have brushes on there. They do not have as great of a variety as Sigma Beauty does, but they are a little more affordable than Sigma Beauty. Sigma Beauty is still way affordable. It's definitely cheaper than buying brushes at Sephora, but Makeup Geeks are a little bit cheaper. I don't know about the quality of Makeup Geeks, but I know that they are better than putting them on with sponge applicators. A makeup palette and a set of brushes, or a couple eye brushes, would be a wonderful gift for any lady in your life. So I hope that my video was helpful. I hope that if you were struggling to find something for one of the special ladies in your life, that I was able to do that for you. I hope that you are able to find what you're looking for in time for Christmas. And I hope that you have found my video in time to get stuff shipped to your house and to find things in stock. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and don't forget, if you have problems finding any of these products, you can let me know via Twitter or by leaving a comment on this video, and I will do my best that I can to locate any of these products for you. I hope that you guys have a great shopping experience. I hope that you guys put a smile on those special ladies' faces in your lives, and I hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. That opens up and you have an endless, what